All right, so this past weekend I competed in the Tampa Bay Regional Tournament. This is the team I brought. I decided on Probo Pass at the last second. As you know, it just came out. I was between that and Zatu because Zatu beats Medicham and Gallade. My first opponent was Pure Lighter. We see Sableye, Melmetal. Other than that, a pretty average staple team, something that you'd expect to see in regionals. We get right into the battles. I think my screen recorder started a little late. He switches into a zoom roll, bubble. Hit him with a power-up punch, and then I get out of there. I'm comfortable in the mirror match here because I know I have the health advantage, although he does have the energy advantage, so we'll just see how this plays out. Not sure yet at this point if his Azumarill has Ice Beam or Hydro Pump. Let's see. I'm going to go without a shield this time. Another play rough. I think this gets him pretty low. Nope, he blocks, which to me indicates that he wants to hold on to this Azumarill. He thinks it's important for his team going forward. He switches out back into Melmetal. Now he's switch locked, and I have Medicham. Absorb that Rock Slide there, not a big deal. Going to hit him with another power punch. This is the second one. It's going to start to really stack on at this point. I know here he's going for the kill shot, so I blocked that Thunderbolt. Got a power punch ready. And in comes Medicham. I'm just going to try to hurt his Medicham as badly as possible. I know I have a Azumarill still with a little bit of health and my third Pokemon, but I think I can do some good damage here. A couple of Ice Punches. That really, wow. Double KO. Out comes Azumarill. I already have a Play Rough charged. Take down his Azumarill, and that is game one. Okay, going in the second match, I bring a slightly different lineup. We lead with Venusaur. He leads Medicham. I like this matchup because either way, somebody's going to burn a shield or somebody's going to lose. The Frenzy Plant's going to do a lot of damage, but I'm sure he decides to block. Here comes an Ice Punch. I opt not to block that. I wasn't entirely sure, but it worked out. Okay, another Power-Up Punch. He switches in. As soon as I launch my Frenzy Plant, Venusaur absorbs that easily, but now he is switch locked. Luckily, I brought Skarmory. This is going to just farm. I'm not sure why he didn't attempt a charge move there. At least something would have done some damage to Skarmory. In comes Azumarill. Sky Attacks are going to do pretty good against that. Obviously, I have two of them charged up and ready to go. Bubbles hurt a little bit because of the steel typing, but not a major concern. I think this might be Hydro Pump, so I shield. I would have been fine if it was Ice Beam, not a big deal. That last Sky Attack takes him down, and in comes Medicham. Power Punch hurts a little bit, takes down Skarmory. Out comes Azumarill. I have I have a huge lead here. This is not worrisome at all. For a second, I think I contemplate just bubbling him down, but might as well be sure. Burn that last shield, get this over with. And that is match 2. Very, very thankful, fortunate to win that one. Got a Sinnoh Stone, that was nice. My second opponent is Rye Guy, also known in the Tampa Bay community as Ryan. The running joke is that he doesn't do much to help the community, but we all know he does a lot. Really, really great guy. Very kind, very quiet, but a fierce competitor. I noticed he brought Lugia and Raichu as well. I assume Raichu is going to be a lead. It's squishy. You want to switch out if that doesn't work out. And my intuition's paid off. Flexing the shiny Raichu. We even joked about that a little bit. Not a great matchup for Skarmory. Going to go into Venusaur. Now, what this tells me is that he didn't have a good answer for Venusaur. So either I'm going to take this Bastiodon or, either way, it's not going to turn out well for him. I'm going to shield this first Flamethrower, get to another Frenzy Plant. Now, I tried to look for all kinds of ways to not bring Venusaur, but it was the best. Everything just charges so quickly, that Frenzy Plant, you just can't beat it. Take down the Bastiodon. Out comes Raichu again. Now, this is obviously going to, finish off that Venusaur, and now I wasn't sure what to bring in next, but I remember that I had a Sky Attack charge. That's going to hurt Raichu pretty bad. I need to save my Skarmory just in case Azumarill is not enough to beat what he has coming next. Brick Break hurts a little bit, but the flying typing helps against that. Out comes Azumarill. Just trying to get a little bit of damage there with the Sky Attack. Maybe one more. Yep, worked out. Now his Azumarill is getting pretty weak, and out comes a healthy Azumarill of mine. This match is pretty much done. Going to get one more play rough just to finish him off, but he gets another shot in. I know that's, statistically this is a done match, but still against somebody like Ryan, I assume that it's going to be competitive, so you never know. I was still nervous towards the end there. We go into our second matchup here. I switch the lineup a little bit, leading with Skarmory. At this point, my intuition tells me I'm getting a little bit nervous about Lugia. I haven't seen a Lugia yet. I haven't practiced against one. I know it's bulky. I know it can take a lot of damage, and there are a few things that could really topple it, but I know Skarmory's a good match, so I opted definitely to bring Skarmory. First matchup here is against a Medicham. Power Punch hurts a little bit. Sky Attack, we know, is deadly against the fighting type. Opts to block that. I'll do the same. Try to get to one more Sky Attack. I'm either taking that second shield or I'm taking the Medicham. It's up to him. So, going to go ahead and bring out Azumarill here. Now, I think he's on 2 Power Punches. That was his Ice Punch. A little bit of damage there. Another Power Punch. Had some energy saved up. Just going to do some bubbles. Try to build up some energy for myself. In comes Venusaur. Not good for me. Obviously, I switch into my Venusaur, and I'm switch locked, and out comes the big bad flyer. So he's running Extra Sensory, Sky Attack, and Hydro Pump. Obviously, Sky Attack would be deadly. I'm going to throw some poison at him, see what it does. Actually, significant damage. Happy about that. He's going to burn the last of his energy, and I'm going to bring out Azumarill. Lugia goes down, but we all know what's coming. There's just no way around it. Frenzy Plant, Sludge Bomb, whatever it was, Azumarill stood no chance. Good game there, Ryan. Moving on to game 3. This time I opt to leave with Skarmory again. It works out for the most part. As we know, against Medicham, it's a neutral, kind of push advantage, if you would. Let's see. He goes straight for the Ice Punch this time, which is a little curious to me. I mean, I know it does more damage, but I would assume he would want to rack up some energy, especially if he planned on switching. So that tells me he's not going to switch out of Medicham. He just wants to go 1 for 1. I let Skarmory fall. Out comes Azumarill. Kind of feeling a little bit like the last match. Another Power Punch, bubble him down. Azumarill mirror match. This time he has the health advantage, but I have the energy advantage. So we're going to see how this plays out. I get off 2 play roughs back to back. And then his come. Looking pretty even at this point. I opt to shield this one. I just want to keep my Azumarill alive, and I want to see what he has as his last Pokemon. So I take down Azumarill. Out comes Lugia again. For some reason, I wasn't sure. I said, man, is it Psychic? Is it Flying? Is it both? Gotta learn my typings. Still need to work on that. But Play Rough didn't do as much as I had hoped. If it were Psychic, it would be more effective. We know how this plays out. He has 2 Sky Attacks saved. I almost get to an Ice Punch, but it's too little, too late. Ryan takes that match. Going on to the third round, Impel Down is my opponent, Haunter and Bastiodon. We are seeing less and less Bastiodon on the Discord chat and throughout the community as the tournament got closer, but he opted to bring one anyway. Let's see how this goes. Doing some team comp here. So I opt to lead with Venusaur. Out comes Medicham. Again, like I mentioned before, I like this because somebody's going down and it's, could go either way. He opts to protect his Medicham the first time. I assume it's Power Punch. I am correct. Now, while that was okay, I know that this second attack, especially if it's an Ice Punch, is going to hurt a lot more after that first Power Punch. So I go ahead and shield. Frenzy Plant comes out, and we get hit by some lag. Shields again. So he's down both shields. I'm lagging again. We talk about it. Not sure what to do here. We decide to continue. Ice Punch takes down Venusaur, obviously. Out comes Azumarill. More lag during this match. We talk about it a little bit more. You want to bail? I don't know. Decide to continue anyway. That's one thing I wanted to point out. The Tampa Bay Regional, the sportsmanship was incredible. Everyone was very kind, very accommodating. Everything worked out really well. Didn't have anyone with a sour attitude. Everybody just came there to have fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. Here we are in a Skarmory matchup. I've got a little less health than him. I'm going to try to get that second sky attack off. And we know how the mirror matches go. It's like watching paint dry. I have to block that one. I farm a little bit more, and I switch. It's going to hurt a little bit. We're going to see if this switch costs me or not. Out comes Venusaur. Trying to bubble it down, almost get there. I figure, nope, it gets to its charge attack first. Frenzy Plant takes me down, and that is match. If you know what I did wrong there, comment down below. Let me know. I always want to try to learn. We're going to our next matchup against Impel Down. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. And it's a mirror match. Of course, his looks a little better, but we'll work with it. Sludge Bomb coming in. We know that's dangerous. For the Rainbow Cup, I know Meganium is also another highly rated grass starter, but I think what defines them is that Venusaur has the Sludge Bomb attack, whereas Meganium has Earthquake, so that gives it coverage against more grass. He's going to opt to double block Venusaur, which means he really is invested. Somehow, maybe he was farming, I get to another Sludge Bomb, and he pays for it. I'm going to shield there. Now we're both down to 0 shields. I feel pretty confident going into this, knowing that I can get off one more Frenzy Plant before Venusaur goes down. We're going to hit that Skarmory with that said Frenzy Plant, and I bring out Big Nose Probopass. First time playing him, I like that Pokemon a lot. There's actually something important that I want to mention towards the end of the video about Probopass, and Gallade. So, Play Rough is going to decimate Medicham, as we know. He's got no shields. Power Up Punch is going to tickle. We're just going to bubble him down here if we can. In comes Skarmory. I'm going to go for that Hydro Pump, but I don't quite get there. Sky Attack is just too fast. But it's all good. We have Probopass. Here comes a big Thunderbolt. And we're going to finish him with some Sparks. So far, having a lot of fun. Everyone's really competitive. It's just a great time. I'm going to go here to the Coin Flip app and just load that up just in case. Because we are, I believe, getting to the third match, and it is a tiebreaker. Going through some team comp here, going to lead with Skarmory, bring Probopass again because you served me well last time, and I think it's a good matchup against his team. First of all, we go in Skarmory versus Medicham. Let's see what he does. Power Up Punch first, and I'll return the favor with a Sky Attack. He's going to shield Medicham, of course. I'll have to block this one, even though his counters are going to do more damage. Just watch Skarmory's health just leak down. Look at that. One more and I probably would have been done. Luckily, I'm able to get off a Sky Attack. This is something I've been working on. He dumped so much energy on a Skarmory that would have taken just one more counter to finish. I wasn't sure why he opted to do that. I know I'm guilty of that sometimes, but be mindful of that going into your regionals. If you can save the energy and you can lay the smack down on the next thing, it might be worth it. Probopass just eats that Ice Beam, not a problem. Thunderbolt's going to hurt. At this point, without Hydro Pump, Azumarill is in really bad shape. Magnet Bomb is going to finish him off. Out comes Medicham, which is going to knock down Probopass, but guess what? I got the Mud Boy. As a Battle Hero would say, we hit him with the Chocolate Fountain, and that's game until Bastiodon comes out. Now, I didn't review this matchup as closely as I should. I get off double Mud Bombs, and I'm just, nerves are on high. He gets to his charge move first, and that is it. One more Mud Bomb would have done it, but I got too confident, called it too early. Next opponent is Austin Wright. He has Tropius, Probopass, and Gallade. Other than that, Medicham, Skarmory, and a perfect 1500 CP Azumarill, which is pretty awesome. I settle on my team pretty quick. Austin takes a moment to look over his. We jump into the battle here. I lead Probopass. He leads Tropius. This is a great match for me, as you know. Out comes Medicham. I'm already charging the Magnet Bomb. Credit to Austin on his switch there. That was really expertly executed. Here comes Ice Punch. Again, counting the 4 counters to the 5 counters is tough. Sometimes when you make the switch and all the animations going on, it's easy to lose count. Be mindful of that, definitely when you're facing a Medicham in your tournament. I'm going to block the Ice Punch and hit him with the Frenzy Plant. This should KO, and Medicham is down. Out comes Tropius. I try to go for that Sludge Bomb, I think, but then I come back to Frenzy Plant, but it's too late. Indecisiveness is what did me in there. We know Thunderbolt is going to rock this Skarmory. As to why he brought 2 flyers, I'm curious. I do remember that I brought Whiscash, and I guess that might be reason enough. Sky Attack does nothing. A little bit of lag there. I'm just going to try to fast move him down here because I had the shield advantage, the health advantage, and as you see, Sky Attack just doesn't. Oh man, Probopass was awesome. Using Probopass the day of the tournament was a lot of fun. It was a big challenge. I'm just going to block here just to be safe. He gets off another Leaf Blade. I guess that means my shield was in vain, but luckily we know this matchup from the Kingdom Cup. Skarmory is just going to put in work on this Tropius. Sky Attack finishes the game. Next matchup, looking at my team here. Let's see, I've got Skarmory, Probopass, and Venusaur. Should have everything covered there. Austin and I are going in again. All right, favorable matchup, mostly, as we've talked about in the past. Let's see if he opts for Power Up or Ice. It is Power Up. Blocks the Sky Attack. This is looking awfully familiar. Going to try to get to one more Sky Attack. Got a little bit of health there that time as compared to last time. He double shields. Out of shields, I really think it's important to budget your shields. In a perfect team composition, you could just pick one Pokemon to spend all your shields on. That would be great. We know it always doesn't turn out that way, but you never know what your opponent is carrying, so having that one shield in the bank can make a big difference, especially if the matchup does not look promising. So we're going to finish off with Skarmory with a Magnet Bomb. Out comes Medicham. He's weak, but he is strong enough. Takes down Probopass, gets a little bit of energy. I'm going to fast move down his Medicham, and I'm going to try to smash this Azumarill with the Frenzy Plant. Again, no shields, but I don't know if it would have made a world of difference because I had so much energy saved up. Back-to-back Frenzy Plants are bad news for Azumarill, as you know. Tao Pikachu. This is one of my favorite people that I met at the tournament. Really nice guy. He's running the exact same team as me, and I know that it's not that funny in retrospect, but we had a big laugh. It's kind of like looking in the mirror. And of course, we look nothing alike, but it was funny to say that we were the same person. He leads Whiscash. I win that matchup. We're going to go Skarmory mirror match. Paint drying, grass growing, whatever you want to call it. This is always a pretty slow going here. All right, so I took a quick nap, and I just wanted to come back and see how we were doing. So this is an interesting situation. He has a little bit of lag, and you see he misses out on one attack. I want you to notice Skarmory's health. I'm going to run a Sky Attack against the Whiscash, and let's count the Mud Shots. I think we looked after the game. He got off 8 Mud Shots, and Skarmory survived. I'm not sure how, but it made him burn his last shield. Out comes Blizzard. I know he had a ton of energy, but it doesn't matter because I have that shield. Sludge Bomb and the Venusaur, we're both down to 0 shields. It's really a race to get to that charge move. I survived the Sludge Bomb. Frenzy Plant almost is enough. I use the quick moves to finish him off, and Whiscash takes down Venusaur. But I have a healthy little mud boy in the back. We actually picked the same exact lineup, which is hilarious. We just that really shows you that the leads sometimes matter more than I think they should personally, but the leads are very important. So this time I switched it up a little bit. I know some trainers like to keep the same flow if you win a match, and sometimes that does work, psychologically speaking. Your opponent tries to switch things up, and if they would have just, predicted the same lineup, then they would be okay. We're going to do Skarmory Medicham. This is a matchup you're definitely going to see in your tournament a lot. Knowing how these matchups play out in terms of shields, damage, whether they run Power Punch or Ice Punch, etc., is really important. So I think about switching there, but I just go ahead to offer the Sky Attack. We're just going to battle down a little bit. I don't know if you would call that an energy dump there, but I think he could have held off a little bit longer, farmed my Skarmory a little bit more. I'm going to use a Power Punch. Obviously, we have to shield here. We don't want to sacrifice a very healthy Medicham to the Skarmory this early. I have a charge move ready. No shields, but that's okay. I'm going to try to smash this Medicham with an Ice Punch, and he blocks. Ice Punch does me in. Out comes Venusaur. And another Ice Punch. I mean, the game is essentially over. I take out his Medicham, just, for the sake of being furious, I guess, but it's all good. So we're going to pick a different lineup, lead with Probopass. All right, Probopass and Skarmory. This is a good matchup here for me. As you know, he switches out immediately, goes into Venusaur. I screw up big time here. I switch into Azumarill. I just smashed the wrong button. I had a Skarmory ready. And then I sacrificed a shield too. I thought I was done. I thought this match was over. You can't, in regionals, it's hard to make that big of a mistake and actually do well. Somehow, I managed to farm his Venusaur, save up all the energy. Thanks to Battle Hero for that tip. Out comes Azumarill. I know that my Probopass is going to have a hard time against water types like Azumarill, so I have to do everything I can to burn those shields. I'm trying to get Azumarill shieldless, and it turns out that way. I'm going to opt to not block, which worked out because if he had Hydro Pump, it would have been bad news bears. Thunderbolt does good damage there. Another Ice Beam. I don't care. Out comes the last one. It's Skarmory. I need to get to that Thunderbolt, and we do. Boom. Big damage. I'm going to block this move because those air slashes aren't doing much. I'm going to go for the Magnet Bomb. I almost went for another Thunderbolt, but wouldn't have made it, and we spark him down. Game 1 against my foe there, my mirror foe. Mr. Wonderbread brought an interesting team. He's got Poliwrath and Alolan Marowak. Probopass as well, and no Medicham. So I think this matchup was just very interesting to me. I didn't bring my Medicham on any of my team setups because that Alolan Marowak just drops it like a brick. I did bring Azumarill, I believe. First matchup here, is going to be Skarmory and Azumarill. Play rough, doesn't do much to steal. Now, we each have lost one shield. We're trying to get to this charge move first, and we do. He double shields Azumarill, indicating to me that it's very important to him to keep Azumarill around. Good thing we've got a Venusaur. And I was wrong earlier. I didn't actually bring Azumarill in this team comp, He switches into Skarmory. I go into Probopass. As soon as I get that Thunderbolt ready, he brings in Venusaur. This is bad news for us. We're going to try to get those Magnet Bombs off. I opt to shield here just to see how this plays out. And the Magnet Bomb does massive damage. I'm telling you, Probopass was a lot of fun. It was... I'm not sure if it was on purpose that Niantic released it literally less than 24 hours before the tournament, but either way, thanks. So we know how this is going to go. He's got a Skarmory with over half health. I have a Venusaur. I'm emptying these Frenzy Plants as fast as I can, but it's not enough. He takes me down there. Okay, we go into our next match. I am going to bring, Venusaur, Azumarill, and Skarmory. Oh, I win this opening matchup. I've got a Venusaur here against Azumarill. Of course, your fear when running this opening matchup is always Ice Beam. He opts to switch out to Skarmory. That's okay. We're going to do the mirror match. I have the health advantage. Looking back, this video has had so many Medicham, Skarmory mirror matches, and then so many Skarmory mirror matches. He opts to block there, prompting me to block as well. Now he gets off his next Sky Attack. I know I can tank this. I'm going to try to get off one, and either I'm going to get his last shield or I'm going to get his Skarmory, and it worked out. Now he is down a Pokemon. Azumarill comes out. I'm just going to take this because Skarmory is essentially down anyway. Venusaur is back out. We're back to square one where we started, but he switches again. Here comes a Alolan Marowak. One of my favorite Pokemon. It's just so cool. I assume Bone Club. I assume right. We're going to go for that play rough. Not very effective. He blocks. Bone Club. Now, if it was, I assumed it might be Shadow Ball, but he was just spamming the Bone Clubs looking for shields, and it worked. I am shieldless. I'm going to try a play rough here on his Azumarill. Get it pretty low. I figure I can take another play rough here and be okay. Let's see how the energy advantage plays out. It's an arms race, and he wins the race. Ice Beam knocks me out, but trusty old Venusaur is ready. He dumped all that energy on my Azumarill, meaning that my Venusaur could come in unafraid of any kind of Ice Beam attack. Going to our next match here against Mr. Wonder Bread. So I lose this opening matchup. He brings Skarmory, which obviously is bad news. We're going to go to mirror match, and out comes Venusaur. We talked about this later. This was obviously a big mistake. He said, oh man, I'm so screwed, which is similar to what I thought earlier. But you never know. I'm going to hit this Azumarill with a Sky Attack after Venusaur goes down. Another Sky Attack. We're just emptying energy here. He opts to shield. I'm not going to shield. Skarmory's already so weak. There's no use in saving him there. Out comes Venusaur. He switches Skarmory of his own. Mr. Wonderbread had some really good switching strats. I think he did really well there. I don't know what else to do. I bring out Whiscash. I'm going to try for a shield bait here because I had a Blizzard almost charged. I thought I could trick him. I shield the Sky Attack, and then we're just going to go for another Mud Bomb. And maybe a third. Get him pretty low. Flash Cannon. Hurts bad, but I'm able to take down Skarmory here. Out comes Azumarill. And guess what, guys? Even with the accidental sacrifice, he still comes out with the win. Congrats, Mr. Wonderbread. I ended up going 3-3. Here are some of the team comps that we saw in the tournament. I know I'm scrolling pretty fast here. Maybe you can pause if you'd like to look over them. Some interesting things here. A couple of Mucks. Lowland Ninetales. There's a Drifblim, which I thought was really cool. This is the final leaderboards. OOOXOO. I can't say all the O's. He ended up winning. His name is Felipe. A really, really nice guy from Fort Myers. This was his team comp. And I want to point out something really significant here that my friend Lyndon mentioned towards the end of the tournament. Azumarill, Medicham, Skarmory, Whiscash, that's all good and well, but I want you to look at this matchup here. This is Probopass and Galley. These two cover each other's weaknesses in a very, very complementary way. I think you're going to see a lot of this pairing, especially with the tournaments later in the month. Watch out for that. This is Felipe here. Again, the sportsmanship at the competition was just exceptional. Thank you so much for stopping by for my first video. I had a lot of fun at regionals, and I can't wait for season 2. Shout out to everyone who was a part of it. Chelsea, Lyndon, Brian, everyone who organized the tournament. I talked with Felipe afterwards. He said it was extremely well organized. Everything was seamless. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. I can't wait to see the player versus player community grow, and I can't wait for season 2 regionals. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.